Hello everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. This week's video is dedicated to Yosef ben Hamanoach Amichai Avrahami. Upon your upcoming bar mitzvah, mazel tov to you. You should become a big Talmid Chacham. Also dedicated to Reb Dov ben Shiafalak Mermelstein, who passed away this week at the wonderful age of 98. Your neshama have an aliyah. In this week's parsha, Parshas Beshalach. So the Jewish people had just seen the incredible climactic ending of the Egyptian people. The waters crashed down on them. The waters of the Red Sea had split. The Jewish people passed through, and the Egyptians tried following to attack them, and the waters crashed upon them, and they perished. They all perished. All the enemies of the Jewish people perished. It was a great happiness the Jewish people sang. Then the Torah tells us that after all the waters had receded, gone back to after all the waters had gone back, so all the booty from all of Egypt had started to come up onto the shore, and the Jewish people were collecting them. And the Jewish people were collecting them because Hashem had promised to Abraham, our forefathers, that they would be enslaved. But that afterwards, they would go out with great wealth. And they knew that it was upon themselves to ensure that this promise of Hashem was fulfilled. And so therefore they were busy collecting all the wealth. As Rashi tells us, our sages tell us, that the Egyptian had adorned all their horses with crowns in this great attack against the Jewish people. It was to show their might, to show their it was there to instill fear, but of course their entire plans backfailed, and instead it was actually the Jewish people that actually took all the gold and silver. Now, the point I would like to make to you is that as this was happening, Moses was going around telling everybody, hello, let's go, we got to move on from here. Like the verse says, Vayasa Moshe b'nei Yisrael. Moses was urging the people. Rashi tells us he had to force them to pull them away from there. Now, why did he have to pull them away from there? They were doing what they were supposed to be doing. They were collecting all the gold and silver that Hashem had promised to Avram that they would be collecting. So the answer is, one of the answers is that Moses didn't want them to lose the big picture. The big picture, the focus really was real wealth. The real wealth was that Moses was saying the point of going out of Egypt was not for this material wealth that you have here. In a few days' time, Hashem is going to take you all to Mount Sinai, and over there He's going to give you the real wealth. He's going to give you Matana Tova. And the Matana Tova was certainly the Torah that Hashem ended up giving us. And there's many other matanos, many other gifts in the Torah itself, Shabbos and other things, other mitzvahs that we can do. And Moses wanted them to change their focus from the material wealth that they had here to the spiritual wealth that they would certainly gain in a few days. And as we see, the Torah ends up saying that they ended up running for 3 days, and they got all tired, and didn't have what to drink, and Hashem didn't punish them because He was excited about their enthusiasm. So Moses did his job. So the idea is that for us to have wealth, that's fantastic, but we should view that that's just a medium. That just gives us the ability to be able to go ahead and learn Torah that Hashem presented to the entire Jewish people, 2 million people, on Mount Sinai with incredible fanfare. And so Yosef ben Hamanoach Amichai, you're becoming bar mitzvah. Realize that you can have a shift in focus and become that great Ben Torah and be a big merit to your father and be for the rest of your family. And at the same time, for somebody like Reb Dov, who was able to live till 98, he certainly was focused and was able to live a life full of Torah. So God willing, by all of us, we should all have the right focus and realize what actually is wealth, because if we had 1 minute left to live, we all know that we wouldn't try to make another business deal. We would try to do one more mitzvah. We would try to learn a few more words of Torah, because that's the real value. If we can realize that in the last minute of life, we can realize that right now. Have a great Shabbos. Thank you for listening.